Hello friends, my name is James Hopkins, and as always I'm joined by my good friends Brian Castiglione and Anthony Alessino, as well as my younger brother, Jack Hopkins. On this show we're all about parlays, overs, unders, spreads, and money lines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Parlay-Vous. What's up, everybody? This is the Parlay-Vous podcast. NFL Week 18 is underway. Well, not underway, but it will be underway. There's no Thursday night game, so we won't waste any time discussing that because there's nothing to talk about. I don't think there's a Monday night game either, right? That's the Natty is going to be on Monday night.
No, it's not that you buy that.
The
This
Natty.
week, everybody's got to be on the same playing field, right?
Yeah. So, before we get into NFL, college football playoffs happened this past Monday night. And for the first time in the 7-year history of the college football playoff, I am sorry to say this to the Florida State fans, boosters, supporters, and players. They got it right. The committee got it right.
Yeah.
We had both games come down to the final snap. The games were not over until 3 zeros were read on the clock. Both games came to the final play. Obviously, we had the Alabama-Michigan game with the 4th and 2 was that in overtime? In overtime, right?
Yeah. Yes, in overtime.
4th and 2 in overtime. Allegedly, people are saying that it was an RPO and the snap came in low and then he didn't have time, Jalen Milroe, so he just decided to run right into the teeth of the defense with it. I've watched the play a ton. Sure, the snap wasn't perfect. I'm not buying that the snap coming down on his left hip is the reason that he couldn't get that ball out in time.
Or bounce it outside.
Yeah, so I'm not buying the snap thing. It was a good game. Alabama obviously competed. I thought they were in a position. They were in a position to win the game, and then their defense, Michigan came through when they needed it the most at the end of the game, got down there and took the lead, or tied it back up rather. Got to overtime and they just weren't able to, punch it in one more time. And honestly, if we're just being real about the situation, the longer that game went on, the less it was going to work out for Alabama. Because if you're not familiar with the way college football overtime works, had Alabama punched it in and scored there, right? Now we're going to the second overtime. Do you know who starts the second overtime with the ball, Alessino?
Is it Alabama?
It would have been Alabama. So they would
had to go for two?
In the second overtime, if they got to the second overtime, they would have
to go for two, right?
They would have had to go for two, but they would have gotten the ball right back. So after fighting tooth and nail just to get to the second overtime, they would have had to went right back out there again. And now at this point, if you don't if you don't score a touchdown, you lose, right? The field goal probably isn't going to be good enough for Michigan from the 25-yard line. And then if it got to the third overtime, it's just alternating 2-point conversions until there's a winner. And Michigan, the best team in the trenches in the country this year, the best running game and the best running defense. The odds were only going to get worse and worse and worse. I was honestly thinking in my head, I don't really know if Saban's this kind of a guy, but I probably would have went for two at the end of the first overtime. I absolutely would. I was thinking about it on third and 3.
You only do that if you got in on first down.
I guess.
Because it was such a struggle for them. Like, you literally watched the tide turn, and you were like, fuck, they're not going to get in here. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm not convinced that was an RPO at all.
Neither am I.
I'm convinced the play call was quarterback sneak.
And it just didn't work out.
They just flushed it down, and look, anybody could Monday morning quarterback it and say, like I saw one guy saying they overcommitted. If he would have followed the pulling guard, there was nothing but daylight into the end zone. Yeah, well, what do we always say on this show about ifs?
If my aunt had a dick, she would be my uncle.
My aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. That's right. So, ultimately, it is what it is. Alabama played a great game. It was I really did agree with a lot of what Saban said after the game, that it was a really special group. And, considering everything that they went through this year, it was a really great season. And, we congratulated Michigan, obviously. But, yeah, it probably was. Now, obviously, we've lived through the era of Bama, of the Tide, over the last 15 years or so. And is it the best team? Is it the most talented team? Are they going to have more guys in the NFL? No way. Absolutely
No way.
not. But in terms of what this team went through and what they, the way they battled back in games, not just after the loss to Texas, but it was a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember who it was now, but they scored, the Iron Bowl, when they won in overtime against Auburn in the Iron Bowl. All year, it's just been a fun team to watch. The playoff game was exciting. Didn't go the way I hoped it would go. Personally, bet on Alabama. Was rooting for Alabama. Not a big Michigan fan. Not a big Harbaugh fan.
Yeah. Well,
Then we go to the other game, Texas and Washington. Again, picked it wrong. Leave it to me to be relatively hot all year through college football and then get both playoff games wrong. But again, another fun shootout. Went all the way down to the wire, and man, if Quinn Ewers could just put that ball on Adonai Mitchell's chest, they're going to the Natty at that last play of the game.
Yeah,
man.
he was having a tough time.
And it was the same exact play they scored the touchdown previously on. Same coverage, same look, same play, same throw, just better defense, really. But if that ball's on Adonai Mitchell's chest, that they're probably going to the Natty. And I'll tell you, like I saw they scored to bring it within 6, right? It was 37-31 was the final.
Yeah.
So I saw they scored to bring it within 6 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left or something like that. I turned it off and went to bed. I never thought they'd even get the ball back, let alone be snapping it from inside of the red zone with a chance to win this thing. And boy, is Michael Penix fun to watch.
Yeah. That's my question. How high do you think his draft stock rose because of the game?
None.
Oh,
wow.
I say none. I think a lot will be said next, Monday night. What does he do against this Michigan defense that's been just mauling guys at the point of attack all year? And, obviously a lot of these questions are going to get answered after, when we go to the Senior Bowl, when we go to the Combine, when we have all the interviews and the private workouts. But ultimately, I know a lot of people, aren't super aware, especially NFL fans, which is primarily what we have, listening on this podcast. A lot of people aren't aware Michael Penix already got 2 ACL injuries.
he does.
He's got
I
2
didn't know
torn ACLs already. Yeah, well, he transferred to Washington from, please fact check me, but I want to say Washington or Oklahoma.
You got it, Brian?
Yeah. Let's see. No, that can't be it. It says Tampa Technical, but that can't be it. That was his high school. Indiana.
So the Oklahoma, that's the color scheme is why. The color scheme.
He's a
is
redshirt
what threw me
senior.
off there. Yeah, he will.
Look, Wikipedia puts the little red shirt.
Yeah, yep.
Oh shit.
So what is he, 23, 24?
He'll be
23.
24 by the time the season starts next year, which is the same age Trevor Lawrence will be at the start of the year next year.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Bo Nix will also be 24 years old. I believe Jaden Daniels will be 23 or 24 years old.
He's entering though, Bo Nix, right, this year?
Yeah, he's a fucking
He's
super
senior
senior.
too?
Yep, super senior. So that's the injury concerns is definitely going to be something that gets brought up. I don't know how much at that level of a scouting department they're going to be concerned about the left-handed thing. I know us sitting on the couch, it's weird, and there's obviously, you can point to way more failures than successes in the NFL at the left-handed quarterback position. That's not something I'd be concerned about. I'd be more concerned about the injury issues and the age. But what are you going to do? To me, I'd take him. I'd take him in the top 15, top 25. Especially if you're a team that's looking, maybe an LA Rams type of team. That's, we got 34-year-old Matt Stafford going on year 14 next year. Maybe we try to bring a kid in. It's a little older, might take a little bit more time. We don't need to rush him right on the field. I don't know if he'd fall that far. The Rams?
Yeah.
Who?
Stetson, right?
Stetson Bennett, I guess, but
away from the team for mental health reasons.
but also, what round did Stetson Bennett get drafted in?
Ooh,
It's not a first-round pick.
No, I don't think so.
5?
Yeah, that's different. I'm talking about more like an Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre scenario, a Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers scenario, one of those kinds of deals.
Round four?
Round 4.
Yeah.
Not that's not a first round pick. I will say I forgot who it was, and maybe I should have looked it up before we started doing this. I wasn't prepared to go this deep on Penix, but somebody compared him to Mike Vick yesterday. Somebody like big, somebody with a big job with ESPN or someone. They said that he drew a lot of comparisons to Mike Vick. He reminded him of watching Mike Vick at VTech.
Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin? Yeah, cool. Michael Penix had 13 rushing yards all season. So because he's left-handed,
compared Mike Penix to Mike Vick.
So if we're gonna start doing this shit now, where because he's left-handed and because he's a black quarterback, we're gonna start comparing him to Mike Vick. That's just so fucking wrong, dude. He's a true pocket passer. He's not Mike Vick. He's not a scrambler. He's not RG3. He's not even Aaron Rodgers. He is Michael Penix. He is a stand in the pocket and deliver. And boy, does he throw a pretty ball. And he can dissect the defense. And he has no trouble reading shit at the line of scrimmage. And I would probably bet he might be the most successful out of all these guys. Him and Drake May are the two I'd fucking bet my money on. I wouldn't count Jaden Daniels out. But I definitely don't love Caleb Williams. I don't love J.J. McCarthy. It's when we talk about draft prospects. And so, Washington, again, I figured it'd be close. I didn't, I 4 went the Texas minus 3.5, and I just took the money line, which had they wound up winning the game, they would have only won by 1, wouldn't have covered the spread. So it was going to be a close, tight game regardless. And we're interested to see what happens on Monday, but the real crux of the whole situation here is Florida State. Let's talk about Florida State and let's talk about Georgia because
a beating.
They came on and said, the odds makers came out and said on Tuesday morning that had Georgia, this is what's so crazy to me, like we're just making so many wild assumptions. Not only are we assuming now, had Georgia got in, but also once they won, had they been playing Michigan in the national championship game, they'd be 2.5-point favorites over Michigan. Why are we even bothering coming up with a line? They didn't make the playoffs. You're just assuming. That's pretty fucked up to just assume they were going to walk over Washington or Texas, or even Michigan if they got in as the 4 seed and had to play Michigan. Then they go out and they feel real good, high and mighty about themselves. We went out and we beat the shit out of fucking Florida State in the Relia Quest fucking whatever bowl. And we beat them 63-3. And we won last year's national championship game by fucking 50-something. And they're the first team in the modern era to win back-to-back back-to-back bowl games by 50 or more points. And they're great. They're the best team in the country. Well, Florida State chose to act like children. You did not beat Florida State. You beat Florida State's JV program. Because any player that was going to the league declared for the draft already and removed themselves from the program. A majority of the players did hit the transfer portal and opt to go elsewhere.
Damn.
And the rest of the players just sat out of protest. So it's a soft move by Florida State to the players that were still there who still could have played that decided for whatever reason just to not, whether it's because we declared for the draft or because we just don't want to play out of protest because we should have been in the playoffs and it's not fair. Well, I've said it on this show twice already. You had the opportunity to go out there and at the very least compete with the consensus number 1 team in the country the entire season in a high-level bowl game. And instead, you all said, I'm taking my fucking cleats and I'm going home because this isn't fair. I deserve it. And you lost by 60. So now you're the laughingstock of college football. And it's a bad look when you got DeSantis going and suing the college football playoff committee. And you got them threatening to leave the ACC now. Because, winning the ACC isn't good enough to get in the playoffs and it must not be a good conference. No, just accept the fact. You had an opportunity after Jordan Travis went down to go out there against, help me out here.
Iowa.
Not Iowa. The championship game.
Last year?
Louisville.
Louisville. Was it Louisville?
I'll Google it.
Yeah, it was Louisville. You had an opportunity to go out there against Louisville and show them that we're deeper than just our quarterback, and we're a deep team, and we are in this.
Yeah.
And you go play a good fucking football game. And instead, what they did offensively was score 3 points in the first half against a team that could get nothing going on either side of the ball. And I'm sorry, that was their only shot. I mean, it could have not mattered what happened in that game. It really, honestly, to the committee, they may have already made up their mind. But you at least had a shot. The minute you only put up less than 10 points in the conference championship game, that showed everybody in America that you're not going to compete at the playoff level.
The announcer of that game said, if I was Florida State, I'd score here.
Yeah.
3 minutes left in the
So
game.
he said style points are going to start to matter for Florida State.
Yeah, if I was Florida State, I would start running the score up if they can. Why? That's why.
And that game showed us that they couldn't compete. The nonsense performance that they put in the fucking bowl game against Georgia showed, one, that they couldn't compete, and two, that they probably don't deserve to be out there in something as high level and elite as the college football playoffs to begin with. And sorry, I mean, sour grapes don't win here. You guys look like assholes. And Mike Norvell is going to have a hell of a fucking job between now and late August to put another top 5 nationally ranked Power 5 program out there. And good news for those of you who don't pay attention, they have a new quarterback coming to town because Jordan Travis is going to graduate, and I assume will be trying to recover and maybe get a spot in the NFL. DJ Uiagalelei, former Clemson dud, who then transferred to Oak State last year and had a pretty good year with Oak State last year. Not really wowing you with the numbers, does a little bit of everything. Now he's transferring for his graduate transfer. He'll be doing 1 year as the starting quarterback of the Florida State Seminoles next year. To me, I don't think DJ Uiagalelei is a needle mover. At the beginning, because he's the kid who came in after Trevor Lawrence, he was supposed to be the next guy in the run of great Clemson quarterback play that we've seen, and completely dudded out from the word go to the point where we're going with Cade Klubnik over him last year. And at the beginning, I was like, I wanted to be like, okay, look, it's hard to try to come in and replace a Trevor Lawrence who had to come in and replace a Deshaun Watson. It's hard to try to put an ACC team in the playoffs for the 6th and 7th consecutive season. It's very hard to do that. But he's just not a top-level college quarterback. Forget about the NFL. He's not, and if there was any opportunity to show it, it would have been this year with Oklahoma State with that fantastic defense that they had. And I think he threw for 2,600 yards and ran for like another 500 or 600. Not terrible, but not great numbers. So, in my opinion, if you're a Seminoles fan, it's only going to get worse. Moving on to the Natty. Do we have numbers? I think I originally saw Washington was going to be 2.5-point dogs, 3.5-point dogs, perhaps. Maybe even 4.
Oh, yeah, pushed all the way to the back. -4.5 for Michigan.
Michigan's going to be -4.5 in the national championship game over the Washington Huskies. Look, Michigan probably wins this game. For my official pick, for my last college football pick of the year, I'm going to take Washington +4.5. In my heart, with my own money, give me the juice on Washington's money line. I think that's what I'm going to wind up doing. But again, this is like a relatively high-risk wager here. You want to make money, take Washington +4.5. I think they'll be able to keep it close enough where 4.5 is too many points, but I don't know if they can beat Washington. Washington's just too good in the trench. I'm sorry, I don't know if they can beat Michigan because Michigan's just too good in the trenches. If Michigan can get them in bad starts, 2nd and 12s, 3rd and fucking 9s, this might get ugly. But if they, I'd come out and I would spread these motherfuckers out, and I would throw it wide, and I would throw it deep down the seam, and I would make these guys sweat a little bit. Because if you get into bad situations with them, they're going to shut the door in your face very, very quickly. And then with Blake Corum and the boys, they could fucking turn a 60-minute football game into a 6-possession game. Each team's going to get 4 or 5 possessions, if that. Because we're going to sit here. We're going to run the clock. I don't know if you remember, we said it earlier in the year going over the picks. They rank in like the hundreds in terms of chunk plays.
I remember that.
I think they ranked like 92 in explosives. Michigan scores a lot, but they do it a few yards at a time. They will have no problem winning this game 14-0 and having 335 rushing yards. And J.J. McCarthy's 10 of 14 for 112 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. That's very real for the way Michigan can play Washington. So Washington needs to first downs. I mean, this sounds like dumb shit. Like any idiot can say this, but first down play calling is going to be very important for Washington. Obvious couple of players to watch, to be looking forward to on Sundays next year. The quarterbacks, McCarthy's getting a lot of buzz to go in the top 15 at this point. Penix is obviously going to be a guy that I think his floor probably comes around pick 40, 45. Rome Odunze, the wide receiver, that's one of the guys that I would want if I was a New York Jets or Giants fan. The guy's 6'3", 220 and moves like he's Percy Harvin.
Jeez.
He makes ridiculous catches. He makes contested catches. No one can cover him. Line him up in the slot. Line him up in the outside. Give him an end around. Let him return kicks. The guy does everything for this team. All of the big moments in this Washington season, Rome Odunze was involved. I would absolutely want him. And then Michigan, obviously Blake Corum, the running back, coming off the ACL surgery last year. Another explosive year for him. And there's a couple of guys on defense Michigan's going to have probably playing on Sundays, but no other names off the top of my head right now I can think of. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And first time in, I want to say 15 seasons, but I could be wrong about that the college football national championship will not have an SEC team represented.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Pretty crazy, right? So that's college. That's really all I have to say on it. Anyone want to? I know Brian and Jack probably not much, but anything else to add to the college season in general? How about this, Jim Harbaugh? Let's say Jim Harbaugh wins. You packing it? Is he packing it up?
Yes,
Chargers?
probably. Bears.
Bears would be very interesting.
I don't know. Too much money to be made, dude. He's like a god out there.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, Kool-Aid declared for the draft.
Yeah, I saw that. Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah. He'll go first round, right?
Yeah. At one
Second.
point, like a top 5 pick. At this point, I mean, you're probably looking anywhere from like 12 to 27. You know?
Yeah. But one of the top corners off the board, basically.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. He's not number 1 anymore, but he'll be a top corner off the board.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, this is it. So now, next year, right? Everything changes next year again.
Next year we get 12 teams, and we get to argue about 13 and 14 seeds.
Wow.
I think it'll be
It's gonna be
easier.
12 next year?
I think it'll come easier.
There's going to
They
be...
just need to do what the NCAA does and guarantee the spots.
automatic qualifiers.
Automatic 5 automatic qualifiers to the Power 5. That's it. You win your Power 5, you're in. That doesn't matter who you are.
You mark my words right now, Anthony Alessino. Right around this time next year, there will be a 12th seed that finished 3rd or 4th in their division in the SEC with 2 losses that gets in over an undefeated group of 5 school. I can almost guarantee it. There will be a 9-2 SEC team that finished like 3rd in the SEC South or West, however it is, and they don't get in. But let's just say, for the sake of saying a team like the fucking JMU wins the Sun Belt Conference next year, and they go 12-0, and they'll wind up not getting in. Some shit like that's gonna go down. It's bound to happen. We're going to be having this argument as long as college football exists. We'll have this argument because until it's very clear where You win this many games, you get in. These are the tiebreakers, like the NFL, like every other league in America does it. College football is the only fucking league in America, in the world, that we're just gonna figure out. We're just gonna pick it.
Yeah.
Every other sport in the world, there's very clear ways. There's a very clear path to how you're either in and you're out, and you become undeniable. We laid out all of the weird situations where teams can be in or out in the NFL based on what happens on Sunday. So, yeah, I think, it goes to 12, and maybe it's great. Maybe it's not. There's a lot of people, old school guys a little, a generation above us, that don't want to see a 2-loss team in the playoffs. A lot of people don't think you deserve it. 12 is too much. There were people that said 4 was too much.
Yeah.
So no matter what, we're going to argue about it, but at least now we're going to see, right? Because Florida State would have been in, Georgia would have been in,
That's what I was.
Oregon would have been in. All of these teams would have gotten in.
And Georgia might have ran the table, so,
They very well could have. They very well could have. And speaking of Georgia, Brock Bowers declared for the draft last night.
Yeah.
Ready
I
to
saw.
move on to the foosball?
Yep.
The other foosball.
The pro foosball. The guys who get paid more than the amateurs who still get paid. We're going to lose him in like 8
I can't
minutes.
see that far, so.
It's like 8.5 minutes. So we'll worry about that when we get there. But shall we review last week? Handicap?
Yeah, we got no Thursday.
Yeah.
So, you got. Oh. Do you have the list?
You got it right here.
Yeah. The list.
Yep.
You have the list of this week's shit? So we're about to do that next.
No, did you write that down?
What do you mean? Oh, the next list?
Yes.
Yeah, I have it right here.
So
Yes.
handicapping.
I'm at handicap scoring.
I came into the week.
Yes.
I started last week with a record of 83, 88, and 7. I went 10 and 5 last week. Record is 93, 92, and 7. Jack came in with a identical record of 83, 88, and 7. He went 9 and 6. His record is 92, 93, and 7. Brian came in with a modified record because he missed a few weeks here, didn't get picks in, at 64, 80, and 7. And Brian with the biggest week, he went 11 and 4, bringing his record to 75, 84, and 7.
Thank God.
Getting close. You got a good chance to get to 500 before
Let's
we
hope
end this
so.
thing.
I have to have a big week this week because then we jump down to like 4 games a week.
So James, just to go over again, just to specify, you're 93 and 92 and 7, and I'm 92 and 93 and 97.
92, 93, and 7. You
You're
don't
a
have
game down.
97 pushes.
93,
92, 93, and 7.
It's the keto, dude. It's fucking with my brain.
Don't blame the keto.
Don't blame the keto. No,
You're
so
not even in ketosis yet.
So you've had you would say a bunch of up and down weeks, right? And
Yeah.
I've had the consistent.
I've had a
You know,
couple
8
of
and
4-win
7s.
weeks. I've had a couple of fucking 4-win weeks. I've had a couple of 10-win weeks. Every week, Jack's either got 7, 8, or 9 wins. And my record's still better than him by 1 game.
And that's just gambling for you. And you
It's
know
the way
what?
it is,
As
dude.
much as I hate it, it's like betting on something that's minus 110, and I hate it. It's wrong. It's so
Yeah.
wrong.
I hate making money too, dude.
No,
I too hate
I
money.
No, because I'm not making money because I'm now down. And I've had consistent weeks all season because I've been thinking about my matchups, especially late in the season when I've been getting hot and my matchups been getting better. It's tough, but that's gambling for you, and that's in the spirit of gambling. So I'm going to fucking gamble this week.
All right.
All
So I
right.
went 8 and 7.
All right.
See, that's consistency right there, though.
On my thing. But I don't know. They might not have been the same spread.
Better than last week when I got 4.
Yeah, I think
It
I
was
also got
tough
4 last week.
Yeah, it was tough.
But my record, the thing on Yahoo Sports says I'm 115 and 135. But that's a lot more games than you guys have.
Do you need the spreads? Because they're on here too.
Oh, I mean, that's good. Yeah. You want me to do it?
I can do it if you want.
I can do it.
Here, take this. It's easier that way anyway.
All right.
Clipboard
All right.
Jesus.
Without further
Want me to
ado,
Clipboard Jesus. All right, let's go.
Clipboard
Go ahead.
Jesus.
preview us in.
Without further ado, it's week 18. There are 8 backup quarterbacks starting. There are a bunch of teams that have nothing to play for and will be sure to rest their starters. I don't know how much real-life gambling I'll do this week because I just cannot bet on a guy who might not be in the league next year. But here we go regardless. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Baltimore. Again, Baltimore with nothing to play for. Pittsburgh with everything to play for. Pittsburgh is -3.5. We're going to have... Why can't I think of his name?
Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley playing quarterback for the Ravens, with I would imagine a lot of backups out on the field. And what's Pitt's record? Is this?
They are 500. They're gonna win. They'll be 500, above 500.
If they win, they're above 500.
No, I think it's win or lose.
No, you can't.
No, because they said he just got his 17th season. No.
Oh, well then that would mean that they have to have 9 wins already.
Where the hell is my phone? Let's find out. I think they got it last week because I'm pretty sure
They're 9-7.
Yeah.
All right, give me the Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah, I'll take the Ravens as well.
I'll also take the Ravens.
Clean sweep.
Houston at Indianapolis with everything on the line. A win for either team guarantees them a playoff spot. A win for either team and a Jacksonville loss gives them the division. Colts are the home team, rocking with their backup that they have been all year, Shoe Gardner. And Houston is almost healthy, almost all the way back now, pretty much missing everyone except Tank, right?
Yeah, Tank.
Yep.
I'll take Houston.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Houston as well.
I'm going to take
Also
Indianapolis.
take Houston. Yeah, we knew.
We knew.
What's the number?
1.5 in Houston's favor.
No, Houston.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, we just laid it out. Jacksonville Jaguars going to Tennessee. Jaguars winning the division's theirs. A loss, and they might be in some trouble on even getting into the playoffs. I don't think they have a playoff spot berth yet. They're -5.5 on the road playing against Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, me too. Tennessee.
Yeah, the 5.5. The 5.5 makes me nervous. I feel like it's too high.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tennessee as well.
It's going to be an undeserved win for the Jaguars. I'm going to take the Jaguars.
An undeserved win?
Yeah, they're going to play a blowout game in which where they won't make the playoffs. They're going to play hard, and then it's just going to come all crumbling down.
I'm confused, but go ahead.
They don't have a playoff berth yet. However, if they win this game,
They win the division.
they win the division, so they get the playoff spot.
Yeah.
I'm still taking it. It's Jacksonville. It's fucking.
Okay.
I'm who cares at this point about Jacksonville.
Okay.
The Minnesota Vikings are going to Detroit. Detroit has clinched everything that they can. They have no more to play for. Minnesota has an outside shot here, is still getting in. I already see Brian made his choice. The line is Detroit -3, and I'm going to roll with the Lions.
I went with Minnesota.
All right.
I'm going with the Lions.
I'll take Minnesota.
Good old-fashioned split decision. You know what it is? I just don't think Minnesota's got enough talent. On defense, at quarterback,
I mean,
Against backups,
how many times do you have to change your quarterback?
all year.
Now it's Mullins.
Again, yeah.
Is
I know.
Aiden Hutchinson playing?
I don't know. He
That makes a
probably
difference.
he probably will though, because he's chasing some sort of sack.
Incentive?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cleveland Browns, nothing to play for. Going to Cincinnati, nothing to play for. It is a divisional rivalry. There will be players on both teams that are playing for a job
Wait,
next year.
Cincinnati has nothing to play for?
No, I'm pretty
No.
sure they got eliminated.
What about Cleveland? They're in.
Cleveland's in. No, because I did the rundown on all the Week 18 playoff
I
scenarios
know, I just
on
can't
Tuesday, and Cincinnati was not on that list.
No,
Yeah, you're
they're
right.
for it.
You're right.
And the only thing these guys are going to have to play for, I mean, especially one, Jake Browning, among a couple of other guys on both sides of the field here, are going to be a job next season.
Yeah.
Cincinnati is -6.
Mr. Alcino, let's get your pick real quick.
Yeah, we're about to lose you. You pick first.
Browns.
Browns.
I'm also going to take the Browns. I mean, I just feel like the Browns They got to come in and get something done. Dude, what's the backup on the roster for the Browns at this point?
It's still DTR, isn't it? Or is he hurt still?
I think he's hurt.
Or ATR, not DTR.
DTR.
It is
Dorian Thompson.
Dorian Thompson Robinson. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Cleveland because I just feel like Cincinnati just not only do they not have anything to play for, but no Burrow. Mixon kind of feels like this is probably the last season. I feel like Chase Brown probably comes in and takes over this role a little bit more next year. Are they going to play? I mean, Chase probably plays because that's just the type of athlete he is, but if it was a different mindset, I think they'd probably rest him too. You know, you don't want Jamar tearing his ACL in the last game of the season and dealing with that. So, I'm also going to roll with Cleveland.
I think T. Higgins is playing. I think
Sure.
he's got to play for a job.
I'm gonna zigzag on you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and take Cincinnati.
That's a big spread.
Cleveland, I mean, there's just something about Flacco, and Flacco's not on the field because this team's been a roller coaster. This team has been a roller coaster of emotions and results with any other quarterback on the field not named Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
So 6 scares me, but I'm taking Cincy. Next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the division is theirs with a win. They're playing Carolina. The spread's -5.5. Baker Mayfield's on fire.
Yeah.
They're excited down in Tampa Bay. Give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Give me Tampa Bay.
Absolutely. Yeah, Tampa Bay's hot. Have to win this game. Carolina just talent completely depleted. So.
They suck.
Yeah. What do you think?
From the owner all the way down, talentless.
Yeah, I mean,
From David Tepper all the way down to the guy who washes the jock straps, they're talentless.
All right,
Carolina.
well, hold on. Quick story about David Tepper. He worked for like a hedge fund company, and he hated his boss. And the way he became a rich man was he went out on his own, started his own type of hedge fund type of deal, and then wound up buying the house that his boss owned, demolished the whole house, and then built a bigger house on top of it.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's
the real American dream.
yeah, dude.
Usurp your boss. Take
Okay,
everything
don't
you ever.
love the way that sounds, but anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna go Tampa Bay.
all right, we're next up. It's ATL for this one.
Atlanta Falcons versus the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Again, with a New Orleans win and a Tampa Bay loss or tie, perhaps, New Orleans will win the division. So they'll be out there playing. Atlanta is, I imagine most of their guys are going to be out there playing because, again, Desmond Ridder, if he's the starter, they're going with Ridder, right?
Who knows?
Ritter's got his job in Atlanta on top of his job in the NFL. So if he's not playing for the Falcons next year, he's auditioning for 31 other teams.
Arthur Smith too.
Yeah, Arthur Smith too. On the hot
Probably
seat.
coaching for his life.
So
Or
I
Sean,
imagine
rather.
They're not eliminated yet, the Falcons.
No, I think you're right about that.
I know they're not. I'm looking at it. Bucks lose.
Falcons get a
Saints
win.
lose.
Falcons get a win and a Bucks loss, and they win the division.
Yeah.
Which the Saints, if they get a win and a Bucks loss or tie, they win the division. If
Yeah.
the Saints get a tie plus a Bucks loss, they get the division. If they get a win and a Seattle or Green Bay loss or tie, they get a playoff spot. And a tie with the Seattle and Green Bay loss, they go to the playoffs. So the Saints aren't out of the playoffs. It's not division or bust for them. It is win the division or bust for the Falcons, though. So the Falcons need a win and a Buccaneers loss. So these games are both happening at 1 o'clock. So there's no way that they're going to already know they've been eliminated. They'll probably be playing hard till the end regardless.
The Falcons are plus 50,000 to win the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, because they have a very small window here to even get in.
No, I know. It just amazing. That's a big number, dude.
They
100
fucking-
wins 50K.
They need one of arguably the hottest team in the NFL right now. Would need to lose to a 1-win team.
Yeah.
And the Falcons have to win before they even get into the playoffs. Just the odds of them getting into the playoffs should be fucking plus 50,000.
They're
Oh my
probably
God,
plus
I don't know.
5,000.
But yeah, go ahead.
I'm taking the Dirty Birds.
Oh, I'm taking the Saints.
Saints.
I'm going Dirty Birdie.
Good old split.
Damn.
It's over. It's over for Derek Carr, dude. It's over.
The New
Paying
York,
him way too much money.
the New York Not Yets, traveling to Gillette Stadium to take on Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots for possibly the last time.
Maybe.
New England's minus
Maybe.
2. God damn, is this an all? You know what? I'm taking New England.
I was gonna say I'm also taking New England. It's only Belichick fashion that
Yeah.
he fucking gets the last laugh.
I
And-
absolutely agree.
And if Belichick's gonna be gone, whether he leaves, retires, they fire him, whatever it is, if he already has half of an inkling that he won't be returning next season, the most Belichickian thing in the world would be to win this meaningless game and drop another slot in the draft and probably fall out of the ability to take whichever quarterback they want, which would be the most Belichick thing in the world.
I'm Jets.
Okay.
Go Simeon, I guess. We're into the 4 p.m. slots now. Kansas City playing the Chargers. This is a game that means nothing for anybody. We're just playing for pride at this point. The Chargers are minus 3. I can't imagine Mahomes is playing in this game, right?
He's
So,
not.
No, they already announced.
so
he's
it's
not.
going to be who?
God only knows. It's not
It's
Chad
not
Henne
Chad
anymore.
Henne anymore.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? We looked this up before, and it was someone that we were like, oh,
Blaine Gabbert?
I think it is Blaine Gabbert. It's Blaine Gabbert.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna take Blaine.
Yeah, I'm going
Gabbert.
to take Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, I also am taking Blaine Gabbert.
So who's playing receiver?
Fucking-
Probably they're starters, so they can't catch a cold.
Yeah, I was
Us
gonna
3,
say.
dude.
Yeah, probably us.
Oh damn, dude! I didn't know I was working 7 days.
Actually, it's
this
probably
week.
Richie James, realistically.
Yeah, Richie James.
Yeah.
They all should be out there learning how to catch the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're gonna have fucking Blaine Gabbert teach him how. Give me the fucking Chiefs.
The fucking Chiefs. You want me to take this one?
Sure.
All right, Chicago is traveling to Green Bay, like I said on Tuesday, for the most historical game. Right now, Green Bay is minus 3, and I'm gonna take Green Bay because there's a lot on the line for them. It feels like this week, and they're hot, very hot right now.
Red hot, white hot.
So, Green Bay.
They are very hot, but their defense hasn't been playing very hot. And Green Bay playing for the playoffs, right? Division's already locked up, but they're playing for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
A win gets
Yes.
them in. It's winning they're in, and then after that, they're going to need help.
Over not winning it.
It's winning they're in.
No matter what, win and they got to play off.
Winning they're in, and if they don't win, they're I'll give you all the scenarios.
It's crazy.
Winning they're in. All of these 3 situations with a tie get them in as well. If they tie, they get a Seattle tie or loss and a Saints tie or loss. They're in. If they tie, they get a Seattle L and a Bucks L. They're in. If they tie, get a Seattle tie and a Bucks loss or tie. They're in. Regardless of what happens to them in their game, if the Vikings lose or tie, Seattle loses, and either one of the Bucks or the Saints lose, they go in, no matter what. So they could lose as long as Minnesota loses or ties, and then the Seahawks, and then either the Bucks or Saints also lose, they get a playoff spot. But winning they're in. That's the simplest way to get it done. Punch your own ticket. The Chicago Bears are not playing for anything in terms of the postseason. But Justin Fields is playing for his career. He's playing for his job as a starter. He is, in my opinion, definitely playing for that 5th-year option. And if it's not going to be with the Bears, it's going to be with somebody else. I really like the way Fields has been coming on. I know we said this last year, and I know it felt that way the year after that. Year before that, rather. Fields is coming on. I'm going to go with the Bears. And the fans were chanting, "We want Fields" last week.
They were.
Give me the Bears.
The Bears.
gonna go Bears.
Bears.
But I'm gonna go Bears. Yeah, I'm gonna go Bears. But I think Green Bay wins the game. I just think it's a 1 or 2 point game.
Okay. Next up, we got Denver going to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Line is Vegas -2.5. I don't think either of these teams have anything to play for, right?
No.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
I'm also going to go with the Raiders. No Russell Wilson.
I too am taking the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll go Raiders.
Immediately following the firing of Josh McDaniels, like after one half of Antonio Pierce-led Raider football, they became not my second favorite team,
They're a fun team.
but they're the team that I'm rooting for outside of a gambling interest and outside of the Jets. They're the team I want to see succeed.
They're
the most.
very fun.
I'm really just rooting
Very
for
fun.
Antonio Pierce, but yeah.
I'm rooting for the organization. I'm rooting for Mark Davis for coming in, turning everything around that his father kind of ruined at the end when he got old and senile. And they're the most progressive American organization in pro sports. They have persons of color in president, head coach, and general manager roles. They're the only team. Forget about the NFL. They're the only team in all of the Big Four pro sport organizations in America that has that.
I think they also have a female coach on the roster as well.
I can't confirm or deny.
I
that.
cannot confirm or deny, but I feel like I've seen something
Niners
attached to the
do.
Raiders.
Next up, we have a rematch from Christmas. Philadelphia traveling this time to MetLife Stadium, taking on the Giants. Philly is -5.5. They have to win to get in. Right, Philly? Pretty much.
No.
No, I think they need to win.
They have to win to have a
clinch
shot at the division.
The division, yes.
But they no longer hold their destiny.
I think they're in the playoffs no matter what. A win and a Dallas loss or tie gets them the division. A tie and a Dallas loss gets them the division. Yeah, Philly certainly has to win, right? But I said it a couple of weeks ago that this is the demise of the Philadelphia Eagles as we know them. Reports coming out this week that there's a big fractures in the locker room. Excuse me. Centered around AJ Brown and his attitude and his actions and his body language, and Diva, maybe, I don't know. Maybe
like
he's
it.
finally
He was
realized.
doing the same shit in Tennessee.
And again, in Tennessee, he had a quarterback that was probably propped up by a system that everyone started talking about as maybe this guy's better than we originally thought. And the fact is, he probably really isn't. And that's, of course, Ryan Tannehill. And what I'm saying right now, also Jalen Hurts. And for those reasons, give me
No,
big.
we're good.
For those reasons, give me Big Blue.
Yeah, before you were kind of talking about it, I was thinking this just feels like a game and the Giants win for absolutely no reason, just to play spoiler against the Eagles. And I wouldn't totally feel that way if it wasn't so close on Christmas Day. Like,
Yeah.
the Giants didn't get blown out on Christmas Day. You know, they didn't look great. It went about as what we thought, but it was relatively closer than I thought, and we had the veto starting at that
I was going to say,
so that's a little different.
if Tyrod played that whole game, they might win.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm actually gonna go with the Giants too on this one. Just for what I said, they just win this game for no reason. I feel like get us farther away from a good pick and fuck the Eagles over, basically.
But if it's
Yeah,
if it's the beginning of the end of the Hurts era in Philly, that doesn't excite you a little bit.
I mean,
If my team in Week 18 could be the reason, could be the last game that a Mac Jones or any quarterback starting for the Patriots, and they wound up losing a game they should have won, and that ultimately winds up being the ouster that makes them have to start over a quarterback. To me, that's almost as good as winning a playoff game.
didn't they already pay him though?
Yeah, but that don't mean nothing.
How am I doing this? Should I tell you what I want to happen, or should I tell you what I think's gonna happen?
Why
You know,
not
it's
both?
fucked up.
Why not both?
I want the Giants to lose. I do. I really do. I do. I don't really, you know. Yeah, you put it that way, and you're making me feel like, well, a franchise-altering change of quarterback for a rival might outweigh a couple picks in the draft. But None of those things are guaranteed. The pick in the draft is a guarantee that they would move up if they lose. So
Yeah, but picking higher doesn't guarantee you're more successful with the pick either. Ask the Jets.
Yeah, we've been picking high for years.
Vernon Golston. Mark Sanchez.
I'm gonna go.
Zach Wilson. D. Milner.
I'm gonna go Eagles.
Eagles. What do you think, Jack?
Let's go G-Man.
Oh. Alrighty. Seattle going to Arizona. Seattle needs to win this game. Obviously, Arizona, I don't think it really matters so much for them. Seattle minus 2.5. I'm going to take Seattle.
I'm going to take Arizona because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter for either of them? What are you saying it doesn't matter?
No, Seattle, it matters.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why you? I'm going Seattle.
I'm saying it doesn't matter for Arizona, so therefore I'm going to pick Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Seattle's not in complete control of their own destiny here. And it is dependent of a Green Bay loss or a tie. And that Green Bay game will be going on at the same time, right?
Yeah, this
All
is
right.
the night game. Everything from here up is 4.
It's all fine and good. I'm with Jack on this one. Give me the Cardinals.
All right, next up, I think Rams don't have much. They're good to go.
I think both teams are in.
Yeah, both teams here are in. I know San Fran's resting their starters, but we got Rams traveling to San Fran. Rams right now are at minus 3.5. Obviously, San Fran's sitting their starters. McCaffrey is resting was it a calf injury he had? I think the Rams will probably wind up resting their starters as well.
Puka Nacua is very
'cause he's
close
gotten
to
centers,
breaking
right?
the all-time rookie record.
Oh, right.
Which is like a very 80-something-year-old record, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it's also a 248-yard game he needs to have.
No, it isn't.
No, I think it's way less than that.
No, it's 29 yards.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
You sure?
Yeah.
Positive.
He might be sitting after then. Maybe because of
Yeah.
last week, I'm thinking.
I'm going to take the Rams anyway because
Rams.
I'm not even really sure what San Francisco's backups look like. I don't even know who they are.
Sam Darnold.
Well, besides Sam Darnold, but...
So
what's
we
his
got
name?
a Rams and a
Mitchell.
Rams and a...
Rams.
San Francisco.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I figured was going
Fucking
to happen.
Next we got the biggie. The Dallas Cowboys playing the Washington Seawards in Washington. A win clinches the division for them. Washington is trash. The spread is 13. I take the boys.
Yeah, I'm going to take the boys.
Jesus. It's the Koreans.
I'm going to take the boys as well.
Who's home?
The
Washington.
Seawards.
Give me the C words.
I'll take the Dallas Cup boys.
Ooh, interesting use of Cook.
Alrighty. Last game. The game that the NFL decided should be the primetime slot since they had flexibility in Week 18.
The most stakes.
Yeah, well, you know.
It's the only straight-up divisional championship game.
I only brought it up because the media all week was like, "This is the game they slotted. They have We know it's been a while. Buffalo traveling to a banged up Miami team. Buffalo minus 3, and I'm gonna take Buffalo. Pretty much based off the fact of what I mentioned on Tuesday. Bradley Chubb hurt, Xavier Howard hurt. Seems like a lot of people came out of that game on defense a little banged up. So that's concerning against the Bills offense for sure.
Jack?
Tua's gonna Tua, and he's gonna play well in the division, so I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Alessino?
Bills.
Bills.
I'm also going to take the Miami Dolphins.
Let's
What a guy. What is going on?
But I'm not taking the Dolphins because I think Tua is going to Tua. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins because I think Josh is going to Josh. I don't care that Xavier Howard's hurt. Josh Allen he just has not proven that he's able to otherwise. to not try to play hero ball when the lights are the brightest, and all eyes are on him. And I'm willing to bet this is 2 turnovers from Josh Allen on Sunday night. Minimum 2 turnovers.
He's
game
really
by Josh
good.
Allen.
He's really good at throwing the ball to the other team. So
Yeah,
You
but
let some
he just makes throws where you're like, dude, he cannot help himself, which is why Brett Favre has always been an amazing comparison for him his entire career, and probably will be. When given the option between making a 7-yard dump where nobody's anywhere near him and hucking the ball 39 yards in the air to a guy that has a safety looming towards him, Josh Allen will always, always, always make the 4-yard throw without hesitation, and that will be his Achilles heel come Sunday night. And that's the handicapping.
there it is.
That's it.
Regular
Well,
season handicapping is done.
And we're gonna see if we can't maybe stay over 500. If we're Jack, we get over 500. I don't even know what Alessino's record is at this point.
I would need to hit more than half of the games this week to get to 500.
Still possible.
Which I did last week. So we'll fucking see. I'm guessing gambling didn't go well. No, I thought.
Gambling didn't go well. That's Mike is fucked up. Gambling didn't go well,
This mic is?
but
I don't even hear it.
this I didn't even look at. So let's score this live and in living color. San Fran minus 12.5. Yes, right.
No.
These
Yeah.
these are my picks from last week.
Yeah, they covered.
San Fran minus 12.5. Detroit plus 5.5. Rams minus 5.5. I went 2-1. My glizzy was the Raiders. They lost by 2 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Jack had the Rams minus 5.5. Indy minus 3.5. Yes.
No, 3. They didn't cover.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
a tough one.
Tough.
And then Mini minus 1.
Who?
Minnesota.
Oh, they did not cover. They got their fucking breaks not covered.
Glizzy was Detroit, so I mean that's a cover but not a cash. Brian also San Fran minus 12.5, Rams minus 5.5, Bucks minus 2.5, so that's 2-1 for Brian. Glizzy also the Raiders. So
Yeah, tough.
me and Brian both lost our glizzies. Jack technically lost. It would have gotten the cover, even though we know the glizzies were going for the win, so I gave him an X and a check. I went 2-1, Brian went 2-1, Jack went 0-3. And then the gambling went poorly
Because of Detroit.
because we doubled down because of both of them.
Yeah.
We took, Alessino, you weren't here, so we 3 bets, 2 teams.
Okay.
3 bets, 2 teams. 2 solo bets,
Uh,
and then we parlayed it. We had 350 on the Rams minus 5.5. We had 350 on the Detroit money line, and we had 300 on the Rams minus 5.5 parlayed with the Detroit money line.
Mm-hmm.
It's another 1,000 in the fucking dumpster fire, and our bankroll sits at minus $4,155. Time to get the shovel out.
Daddy's here.
Good. That excites me. Makes me feel good. Let's lock it up.
You want to do picks?
Yeah, lock it up. Make some locks.
Where is another sheet?
Which sheet?
Just a blank sheet.
Are you gonna write them down?
Oh yeah, I give it. Oh yeah, unless you want to put them there.
Oh, I just
Whatever's
I
easier.
just got like some jacked up.
Yeah. All right. So for locks, let's see.
Tampa Bay minus 5.5 is one of my locks.
4.5.
What?
Oh, did it drop?
It dropped to 4.5.
All right. Tampa Bay minus 4.5 for sure, without a doubt. I'm gonna go ahead and lock that one up.
Yeah, me too.
I am going to put a lock on the Raiders minus 2.5. And I am going to put a lock on the Dallas Cowboys minus 13.
I'm gonna lock up Tampa Bay as well. I think I'm gonna lock up Houston. Honestly, I just feel like division game too close. Tampa Bay. I'm gonna lock up the. Do I want to lock up Dallas too?
It's up to you.
Tampa Bay, Houston, and last lock will be Jesus Christ. I'll take the Cowboys too. Seems like the safest one.
Are you going, Jack, or no?
I am looking at the sheet. You may go.
Triple lock.
Triple lock on
Houston Texans.
what? Damn.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was iffy about it too. So triple lock is.
Nah, dude, I'm gonna put my balls in my mouth.
I don't think that's what you.
Nah, dude.
What
Sometimes
did he just say?
he said he's gonna put his balls in his mouth,
I'm
and
gonna put my
sometimes you
balls-
just have to put your balls in your mouth, dude. I don't disagree with him one bit. Every now and then, when you're gambling, you have to put your nuts in your mouth, dude. And guess
Your
what?
own nuts in your own mouth.
Jack
dude.
put his nuts in his mouth last night, and then I put his nuts in my mouth last night on that Knicks parlay, and we won in a big way.
You guys are brothers. You guys shouldn't be doing that. Anyway.
It's, you know.
What are you doing, Steph, bro?
Oh my God, dude.
These are nuts? Since when?
Indianapolis triple lock.
Jesus
Wow,
Christ.
2 triple locks to end off.
What a fucking prick. He triple locked against me? What a prick.
You mad that I put my balls in my mouth?
Now you can chew on your balls all you want.
I think that means
But-
you guys have to make some sort of side bet on Sunday when the game comes.
What do you want to do?
What I just triple locked it, so whatever you
I
want.
also
feel
triple
confident.
locked it, so look, we're on the same level here.
I feel confident, so whatever you want to do.
Where's my third pick? Can I see the sheet?
Dallas.
You may.
I have Dallas.
As a little side gesture,
Jester.
gesture, not the jester.
Oh, it was the Raiders.
I am pretty funny though.
Well, you're definitely a clown.
Damn.
You could say I have jester's privilege. Either way, what do you have any side
You should bet your position at the company.
Damn. Elite winner goes home or winner stays match rather.
Yeah, dude, loser leaves town match. If he wins,
That would be horrible.
If he wins, he gets your stake in CNL. If you win, he gets fired.
I just don't feel like that's even money. I don't feel like that's even that.
What are those odds, honestly?
You know what I mean? Like that guy, that's got to be plus money for me. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, for him, that's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. I agree.
I'm good at making plus money.
I don't know. You should bet some fellatio on it.
Nah.
Since we're talking about nuts and mouths.
Jack said nah.
I could bet on that another time.
He's gonna save.
I don't want to
I'll
bet.
bet on it when it's minus odds. You don't want to bet
Whatever.
what?
Fellatio.
On fellatio, dude.
Yeah, dude, I don't either. I love
Fellate me.
Jesus Christ. No, dude. I don't want to bet on that either. I only want to bet
All
on
right,
myself.
ready? Here's the bet: $20,
There you go.
and the next show, the loser has to do it shirtless.
You better be here then.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not making
You
this
can't
deal.
be shirtless from your own bedroom, bro. You're probably not wearing pants right now. If that's going to be a
Oh, yeah.
fair bet, if that's going to be they're pajamas. I mean, we're all wearing
Yeah.
sweats, but
They're pajamas, baby.
if that's the bet, you need to be here in person.
Fine. If
On
I
Tuesday-
lose, yeah,
on
yeah,
Tuesday.
for sure.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
No, I'm saying
Virtual
you can choose a
handshake.
bet. Jack, you can choose a bet. I'm just throwing things out there.
Jack already virtually shook hands with you.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
virtual shake
Uh-oh.
over the Zoom.
There we go.
There it is.
It's settled.
Put your hand
It's
out.
settled, dude.
Yep.
$20,
Alright.
and the loser has to do the next on Tuesday. No, so Tuesday there might not be a show because I might have to work at night.
Thursday, double show.
Thursday, double show.
Double shirtless show.
Double shirtless.
It's going to be cold, boys.
Well, only one person has no shirt on.
No, but it's a double show.
It's double show on Thursday.
Yeah, that's fine,
Yeah.
but only one person's keeping their shirt.
Well, you got to keep your shirt off for the whole
The
double
double
show.
show.
That's the point.
Yeah.
You don't get to put the shirt on at halftime.
The doubling
Could
wasn't...
it be a shirt or pants?
I'll do the pot in no
If
pants.
it's gonna be no pants, it's got to be fucking tighty whities or better. You can't have not wear pants on and then basically have gym shorts on for boxers.
No. I mean, it's got to be some sort of.
Dude, I'll go
briefs of
buy
some
boxers
sort,
with hearts on them if I lose. I'll do pants. You want to do pants?
Can we look?
No, it
No,
can be whatever you want.
Hey,
I'll do pants.
dude, there's not enough show left for me to have to justify a third Zoom call with you today. I just got 9 minutes and 40 seconds till we lose you. So, Glizzy God, pick of the week, the final Glizzy God of the NFL season. Your boy is taking the Dirty Birds from the ATL, Atlanta Falcons.
I will be taking the Cleveland Browns.
I'll take Minnesota.
Yikes! I will take. I'm gonna do it. Give me the Titans.
Damn. Okay.
All right. So this is where it stands for the final week of the regular season. Your boy is locking up Tampa Bay -4.5, Dallas -13, Raiders -2.5. My Glizzy God, as I just said, is the Atlanta Falcons. Jack, put the good old-fashioned thrice lock on Indianapolis +1.5, and his Glizzy God will be the Browns. Brian went with Tampa Bay -4.5, Houston -1.5, Dallas -13. His Glizzy God is going to be the Minnesota Vikings. Alessino once again with the thrice lock on Houston -1.5. So this is a big head-to-head matchup, Jack versus Alessino, for all things gambling. His Glizzy God is going to be the Tennessee Titans. And quick before we get into the gambling, because we did just say that Alessino is here and he's hopefully going to help us dig out of this $4,100 hole that we're in here. What you want to show with the people very quickly the abridged version, what you told us in the group chat last night?
About me being done?
Yeah.
By you being a lot of wholesale box energy.
I was once a prestigious bettor. I was once a prize fighter, as you would say, in the betting world.
Heavyweight title.
And now I'm washed up. I'm like Tony Ferguson. I'm on a 9-fight losing streak, and the confidence just isn't there anymore. Last night I had Quigley +2.5, 3-pointers, and I was going to parlay over 16 points. Thought that was a mortal lock. Type in $200 to go put in the parlay. Big parlay. Big numbers to win 780. 980 back with the 200 originally. I go and I just can't do it. I just can't do it anymore. Years ago I wouldn't think about it. I just can't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger. Ends up with 5 3-pointers and 19 points. So it's just a really tough thing. Or 21 points. It's just a really tough thing.
No, he didn't place the
He
bet.
didn't place
because
it.
he's
No,
afraid
when
to
you went to
fucking
go
lose.
pull the trigger, were you a little itchy? Were you sweating there? You were looking at the
Cold
place
sweats.
wager button and you were...
Cold sweats.
Oh.
So that's a situation where you refuse to put your balls in your mouth.
When you
Because that
lose
is
the edge,
that is the perfect situation of an example of the term putting your balls in your mouth.
I'm never going to put my balls in my mouth. So,
Or on
I'm
the
gonna
table.
start there.
Well, then I guess you're cooked as a gambler.
but when you start second guessing
Or,
and you're scared
or
of
when
the
you're,
odds,
when
it's
you're
over.
when you're more afraid to lose than you are excited to possibly win,
It's over.
it's over for you. Now it's fun. You can
And
still.
I see the end's near. I see the end is near here.
Is this the start of the end of the Alessino era?
The Alessino gambling era is ending. I have no desire to gamble on any other day besides Sunday. and on Sundays I'm not gambling much at all anymore. It's just, I mean, I'm not winning anything. Don't get me wrong. Maybe a fucking win would make me feel a little better.
Stop buying lottery tickets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All you do is buy
afraid to
lottery
$5
tickets.
lottery ticket, but I'm afraid of the other stuff.
Yeah, but it doesn't have
So
to
anyway,
be. It doesn't have to be
On
super
that
big.
note, because I know we're running out of time,
We are. Let's go.
I'm gonna put a massive parlay together to get us out of the hole.
All right.
It's really only one way to do this.
Which is?
I'm sifting. I'm sifting.
He's sifting. He's crunching the numbers.
I'm crunching the numbers. I'm checking them twice.
This week is tough though, with all these backups and divisional games, teams that don't matter.
Can I just get the Falcons money line in as my contribution? Is anyone opposed to that? Nobody really picked the Saints, right?
I hate to do this. I just don't think it's. I don't think it could be. I don't think we can bet on the games this week.
Why?
I think we got to just. I don't think you can bet on the, because there's not many games that you're gonna win on like that. You know.
I mean, you could make that argument for any week of the year.
No, I just think there's too much. Like, what I'm saying to you is, here's just a quick little thing. Nico Collins, Michael Pittman, Mike Evans.
Touchdowns?
Anytime.
All three.
Anytime
Parlay
touchdown.
all
Those three guys.
Nico Collins, Mike Evans, Mike Pittman, anytime touchdown.
It was 1,000 to win 7,680.
I'm here to go. I mean, we could zag.
I don't
We
hate
could pick three guys. Three guys will get it done for us. I just picked three random. Three good games on teams that need to win.
Can I get odds on Gus Bus?
Okay, that's not a team that needs to win. So, but I'll give you the odds. I'll give you the odds.
Touchdown.
I know, but he might not play.
Justice Hill might not play.
All right, so
Keith
then why
Mitchell went
would
up,
we
but-
even take the risk then? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Bro, the Ravens backfield is fucking... We don't know.
I know. By the
Gus
way,
Edwards is plus 220.
Dalvin Cook signed with the Ravens today.
Yeah.
Well,
As I was
He won't play on Sunday, but
He'll be in the playoffs.
he'll be on the team in the playoffs.
All right, ready?
I
Melvin
feel.
Gordon anytime touchdown.
What team does he play on?
The Ravens.
He scored last week for the Ravens.
He's on the Ravens. What are his odds?
But they might not score against the Steelers because it matters to the Steelers.
Right.
Yeah, and I also feel like why not Ty Huntley at that point?
What is
Well,
Ty
then-
Huntley?
let's not discuss that. Let's go back to the original three then. Let's not get so fucking far away from this that we're looking at guys who are plus 5,000 to score a touchdown. If we're going to get a shovel, we're going to make a fucking proper wager.
Okay, I like it.
Or fucking, and no disrespect. Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon scored last week for the Ravens.
He scored last week. What else has he done the rest of the year?
He's been
No,
a
that's it.
backup.
That's
Michael Pittman.
Yeah, I like Michael Pittman.
I like Mike Pittman.
Yeah.
I like Mike Pittman. I like Nico Collins. The only one who scares me is Mike Evans, but they got to play to win. And I feel like they can just... It's going to be 21-0 in the first quarter, and it's over.
The question with Mike Evans is, did he score last week?
No.
Then
I
he'll
don't believe
probably score this
Can
week.
I make a crazy suggestion? And I know it's not really crazy, but what about Cedarian DeLeon Lamb?
Who?
C.D. Lamb.
Oh. I didn't know his full name.
Cedarian
Cedarian.
DeLeon.
So, of course, they're not available.
Yeah, they never give you CD Lamb. They don't even give you his receptions anymore.
Really?
They
The
didn't
four.
last
I don't
week.
see any 4:00 games available right now.
Oh wait, no,
I
I
think.
have them.
Or at least
Let
maybe.
me see.
Yeah, the 4:00 games don't have touchdown props on it yet.
Yeah, they got nothing.
Okay, fine.
Oh, some of them do. Some of them do.
Just not
Metcalf
this.
is there. Yeah, the
not this Dallas
Seahawks game is there.
I'm okay with the original bet if you guys are okay with it. I just want to make sure
No,
everyone has
no,
an opportunity.
I think it's a good bet, kind of like what Alcino said. I mean, the Colts and the Texans definitely have to be playing.
Yeah,
Without
for
a doubt.
sure.
I mean,
for sure.
we could put it in after the fact and just talk about it now. We don't know what the odds are going to be, but like Devontae Smith should score against the Giants.
You got less than a minute.
Isn't he hurt though?
He is hurt.
Yeah, I think he sprained his ankle, so he might just sit this week.
Are you okay with it? Because we're gonna lose you.
God. I guess we're okay with it. I don't love it, but I guess we're okay with it.
You're the one who brought it up. Suggest somebody.
No, I just think I think there's players that we should do it, and I don't know if those are the guys. All right, fine, let's do it. Nico Collins, Michael Pittman, and Mike Evans.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. You got anything you got to say to the people before?
Oh.
Just like that.
See you
He
later.
ain't got nothing to say because he ain't got no balls in his mouth.
Oh.
Say less.
Hey yo.
Hey, yo. Take me out to dinner.
Can I get the odds on that again?
Oh, yes. I had it up too.
It's like plus 7,680 or something like that.
Evans, Pittman, Nico
Nico.
Collins.
Plus 768. So
7,680. All right, that's the bet. We're gonna zag this week. We're just going all 1,001 anytime touchdown parlay. It's gonna be Mike Evans.
great if it hits, honestly.
Yeah, it'd be phenomenal. It's gonna be Mike Evans, Mike Pittman, and Nico Collins. Anytime touchdowns, it's 1,000 wins, 7,680, and that'll put us out of the hole by about $3,000, $3,500. And then we're going into the playoffs up money after being down the entire year, which would be amazing. And we'll go into the playoffs, and then we'll start. That's when you make the real money.
Yeah.
Because the playoff games, there's only 6 games next weekend. Usually it's pretty clear what's going to happen. At least one or two of these lines is going to wind up working in our favor, where we know that we're going to be able to win some fucking money and take
Right.
advantage of the book. There's going to be a home team that winds up getting or giving a couple of points, even though we don't think they're the better team. And then you take advantage of that juice on the money line. You know, playoff football, in my opinion, is one of the easiest fucking ways to sports
I always
gamble.
do well in the playoffs.
Just money line playoff football. And when the playoffs come out, that's when I put the prop bets away too. Let's just win big.
Because it's tough. You never know what they're going to do.
And
Game
like,
plans could completely
if you want to start putting together touchdown parlays and prop bet parlays, there's only 6 games. So how many different? Once you get into more than 2 touchdowns scored in the same game, to me, you're killing yourself, because the second that a touchdown is scored in that game that is not one of your players, you're already basically dead in the water.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for one more week of regular season football, one more football Sunday in what has been a tumultuous season of football Sundays for us, with
absolutely.
the weddings and all the other shit, the Godfather and the
COVID.
children being born and multiple job changes for a couple of us. So we
We're
look
really-
forward to an exciting playoff season. And we look forward to deeply covering basketball when the season ends and getting more into the round ball aspect of things. Speaking of, I'm going to go home. Well, I am home. I'm going to sign off when I'm done. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to get this podcast up. And I'm going to go bet big on the Denver Nuggets -3.5.
Oh.
And I will
like
not
that.
even be awake for tip-off, but I will be betting big on it. Final thoughts?
You know, I think there was a lot of character development this season. You know, we all went through a lot. Your boy here came up and he came to the game and he showed up. I'd say he showed up pretty big. Brian, you're definitely coming in hot. We've been cashing handicaps left and right.
Yeah, it's been good. I do, you know, just speaking from like a podcast standpoint, I do feel like every year, I mean, this is only my second year, but the 2 years I've been here, we've definitely gotten better. The show's been more organized. I felt like in a lot of the early shows, we spent a lot of time kind of trying to figure out, you know, what we were going to do, what we were going to talk about. And now it seems we're in the routine, we're segmented, we know what we want to talk about. And that really just makes the whole show a lot easier. Because then you're not really grasping for content. You kind of have a baseline of what everything's going to be, and you kind of just can fit it in from there. But yeah, without a doubt, you did very well this year. Definitely a lot of growth. You took a lot of Hawk's advice and kind of like listened to yourself, figured out, the right time to speak, what to say, and it's definitely shown, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah. We got Jim on point with the college football this year.
Yeah, well,
absolutely hammered.
James has always been essentially the host of the show. Essentially runs it.
But he's always
Yeah,
improving.
I mean,
always
while we're
adapting.
handing out flowers, got to give you a lot of credit. You've always been the one that's come up with the content ideas. I mean, obviously we've pitched in here and there, but the basis and the structure of it, all the new shit that comes in has pretty much been the college showdown, things like that. The impromptu me time and all that other bullshit during, the regular season and stuff. So, yeah, I think I think we're all really progressing for the most part.
Yeah, I just
without a doubt.
gotta get my social media game together.
Yeah,
Gotta
this was
absolutely-
more of a off season talk, but I think next year for football, I think starting in August we should start hitting the social media a little bit heavy and kind of take on the wave of the fantasy football and everyone kind of getting their name out there and that maybe try and pick up some followers. And
Yeah.
then, it's it is obviously we'll be reporting throughout the whole year, but I feel like early middle August is when everyone starts getting back into the swing of things. We're looking and we're researching to see shit that's going on, so that's when you kind of how it is off season from March to August. You're kind of just like waiting for the Bleacher Report alerts to pop up to see who got traded, but other than that, it's kind of just we'll see what happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, social media is a necessary evil because I can see it in the numbers when I'm posting regularly and when I'm not. And
Right.
It's significant and probably did hurt growth this year, but the show's getting better. Growth
But
will come when the show gets
We
better.
grew, I think, and it. While we didn't grow in the social media aspect, kind of like what I was saying before, we've grown in the show aspect, the actual content aspect, and that's realistically, the marketing gets people there and gets the eyes on it. But if the content itself's not good, no one's going to stay.
Right.
So if the show, keeps progressing the way it does, and as we have been, social media is just an add-on to what we're already doing now. I feel like so,
Yeah. And hopefully, by next season, by way quicker than next season,
May I? We won't be doing our best fucking COVID impression next season.
I don't know what that means. What do you mean?
Yeah,
Our COVID impression.
Elaborate?
Oh shit! I know what you're talking about.
He knows.
This was an inside joke that happened.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. You were here. You were there in the joke, but you just don't remember.
Okay, I guess you
But
can tell
yeah,
me when the,
it took
when
me
the
a
red light
second.
turns off.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, very quickly, very soon, then before next season starts. But we will not be in this studio. We will be moving to studio number 5, which we don't know where it is yet.
We'll find out.
Hopefully, there's more space than we have right now, and I would love to be able to try to get another sort of social media producer to come help out on the social media end. But obviously, we're not handing out paychecks, so
Right.
it's gonna have to be someone that's willing to do it. And I have a couple of people in mind, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting another set of hands on social media would definitely be helpful. And it's
Yeah,
tough because we are doing this for the love of the game,
Yeah.
and everyone's still got bills to pay. So until Blue Chew wants to start fucking sending some money and pills our way,
Hey,
we'll start
Raid
huffing.
Shadow Legends. Where the fuck are you at? You love to give fucking money away.
Who?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Do you know this?
Yeah, it's some nonsense TikTok ad. You've never seen that?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, what's the fucking company that keeps coming up on my Instagram page about selling toy guns? Fidget toys, so to speak. Hit us up. I'll send you an email.
All right, send him an email.
That being said, gentlemen, anything else to say?
We're brought to you by House of Havoc Podcasting, Stay Thirsty Company, Justin Shop Shop of West Hampton Beach, and Dino Skate Park. Peace out.
And your best, as fucking always, stay tuned.